Story. In the picturesque suburban landscape of Maplewood Elementary School, where trimmed yards and white picket fences reign supreme, 5th grade teacher Ms. Reed commands both admiration and respect from her colleagues. With years of experience under her belt, she has faced her fair share of challenges. However, nothing could prepare her for the encounter that awaited her on this particular afternoon. The final bell rang, releasing a chorus of laughter and chatter as students poured out of their classrooms, leaving behind an empty shell of what was once a bustling school environment. Just as Ms. Reed began gathering her belongings and wrapping up her lesson plans for the day, the door to room 5A creaked open, revealing an irate parent, Mrs. Thompson, who burst in with unconcealed indignation. She wielded her smartphone like a weapon, shaking it at Ms. Reed as she spoke. "Ms. Reed," she began, her voice dripping with disdain, "do you know what this email says? It says that the school is in desperate need of parents to chaperone the upcoming field trip. I mean, really, how hard can it be?" Ms. Reed paused, drawing in a deep breath before responding calmly, "While I appreciate your enthusiasm, Mrs. Thompson, I must ensure the safety and well-being of all my students during any off-campus activities. If you're interested in helping, there's a volunteer form on the school website." Mrs. Thompson seemed ready to explode with fury, her eyes narrowing as she prepared to launch into another tirade. However, Ms. Reed anticipated this reaction and swiftly handed a clipboard to the seething parent. "Here's a volunteer form right now if you'd like to fill it out," she said, her voice oozing with false sweetness. The room seemed to collectively hold its breath as Mrs. Thompson stared at Ms. Reed, then back at the proffered clipboard. With a heavy sigh, Mrs. Thompson accepted the clipboard and dropped into the nearest chair, her outrage slowly dissipating like a popped balloon. As she scribbled away on the volunteer form, Ms. Reed glanced over at little Timmy, who sat in the front row, watching the scene unfold with wide eyes. His gaze met hers, and she offered him an encouraging smile, which he returned shyly. Throughout the tense exchange, Timmy had remained silent, his expression a mix of embarrassment and fear that no child should ever have to endure. As Ms. Reed watched mother and son interact, she couldn't help but feel a pang of sympathy for the young boy. After all, she knew firsthand the struggles of growing up with an overbearing parent. Once Mrs. Thompson had completed the volunteer form, she handed it back to Ms. Reed, her demeanor significantly less hostile than before. With a curt nod, she left the room, leaving behind a palpable sense of relief. The remaining tension in the air dissipated as students gathered their belongings and prepared to head home for the day. As the last student exited the classroom, Ms. Reed approached Timmy's desk, offering him a gentle smile. "Don't worry about what happened today, Timmy," she said softly, placing a hand on his shoulder. "Sometimes adults forget that we're all on the same team." Timmy looked up at her, his eyes shining with unshed tears. "Thank you for not being like my mom," he whispered, his voice barely audible. Ms. Reed felt her heart break a little at his words, but she maintained her composure, offering him a warm, understanding smile. "I'm here to help you, Timmy. And I think your mom wants to help too, she just needs to learn how." In the days that followed, Ms. Reed took it upon herself to mentor both Timmy and his mother, subtly guiding them towards a healthier dynamic. She made sure to involve Mrs. Thompson in school activities, slowly but surely helping her become more attuned to the needs of her son and those around him. One afternoon, as Ms. Reed was supervising an after-school club, she noticed Timmy and his mother working together on a craft project, their heads bent close in concentration. The sight warmed her heart, a silent testament to the progress they had made as a family. From that day forward, Mrs. Thompson became a valued volunteer at Maplewood Elementary, chaperoning field trips and assisting with school events. She and Ms. Reed developed a mutual respect for one another, finding common ground in their shared love for the school students. As the school year progressed, so too did the relationship between Timmy and his mother. The once tense interactions were replaced with open communication and understanding, creating an environment where both parties could flourish. In the end, Ms. Reed realized that sometimes standing up to an entitled parent didn't mean engaging in a battle of wills. Instead, it required finding a way to bridge the gap between them, fostering connection, compassion, and understanding in its place. And so, as the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, Ms. Reed continued her mission to not only educate her students but also support their families, proving time and again that sometimes, all all it takes is a single moment of understanding to change a life forever.